Another one. With the coffee today. How's it going, everybody? Hope you're drinking some good cafe, maybe some tea, perhaps on this beautiful Wednesday morning. How's it going? Good to see you. Welcome to Wednesday, day 7 of our daily creative challenge. I'm Kathleen. I'm going to be your host. I have been your host since, let's see, when did this start? January 6th? So last Monday. Wow. And we're wrapping up this challenge in just 2 days. It's really getting real, people. What's up, everybody in the chat? It's always great to see all of your names kind of flood in as that spin happens. It's really good to see you. What's up, Ralph, Sean, Austin, Leah, Camillo, Gina, hello, Lynn. Really good to see you. Let me know what you're sipping on. If you've got some coffee, maybe a latte, maybe just some good old-fashioned agua, because hydration is very important. I should tell that to myself more. What's up, Carrie? Hi, Kathleen. Spain again. Good to see you, Dick. Awesome. Yeah, no spills. I'm a pro at spinning with the coffee, for sure. So if you are new to the Daily Creative Challenge, no worries. We host this live stream every morning at 9 a.m. to walk you through a simple Photoshop workflow to help you build your Photoshop skills. So the challenge, like I said, ran from last Monday, and it will run until this Friday, and every day we do this live stream, and then by the end of it, you're going to have an awesome community, proven by all of you in the chat, and also on Discord, and you'll also have a new portfolio piece. Very, very cool. So today's challenge, if you want to check it out, we are going to be working on a poster, but focusing on texture brushes. Now, before we jump into that, I do want to touch on the schedule for today first, so you all know what's coming up after me. Right after me at about 9:30, we're going to have a really cool stream with my friend Andre Leroux doing some cool mobile photography. He's very cool, and I believe Arabella's going to be hosting him, so awesome. Or maybe Ellie, I'm not sure. And then Howard's going to be up after that in person to do his XD Daily Creative Challenge, and then we're going to finish off the day with more XD with Lena. So, oh no, branding and identity, so that might be graphic design. Ooh, exciting. Let's see, Austin says I just made a pot of hazelnut coffee. Oh, nice. A pot of hazelnut. So is that in the beans, or is it hazelnut creamer? Let me know. I'm very interested. Ilsa says, hello, first time seeing you live. Hello, good to see you. Great to have you here. And Aurelia, of course. So if you want to come and join the challenge, you can check it out at behance.net/challenge/Photoshop. You can find all of your starter files here. So if I click Get Started, it'll take me to a Dropbox where I can download any templates or starter files that I might have provided for you, which there are 2, technically 3 actually, but we'll get into that in a bit. And then here is where you can also subscribe to be notified about future challenges. So we have a challenge pretty much going every day, all the time. On next Monday, a new challenge is going to start, and I'm not sure if it's public who's hosting it yet, so I'm just going to say it's going to be a secret challenger. It's going to be running that challenge. And then you can also join us on Discord, which is very cool. Discord is our 24/7 chat server where you can be posting your works in progress to get feedback, a little bit of a critique. And then you can also just ask questions about a creative career or get career advice and tips and tricks. You can also introduce yourself if you are new. So make sure to join us on Discord at bit.ly/PS-Discord. And then the P and the S are capital in that. That is important. Yes, thank you, Sam, for posting that. Perfect. Alrighty. So let's get started on today's challenge. Like I said, we're going to be focusing on texture brushes. So we're going to be designing an event poster using brushes and custom textures. Let me just open up Photoshop really quick. This is the template that I've provided for you. This is actually built out of 2 free stock templates. So I smooshed them together in true Photoshop fashion. And we're going to be designing this actual poster. So if we open this template and go over to our poster image, there are a couple other options in here, like there's a horizontal option if you want to do that as well. But we're going to stick with the vertical. You're going to twirl open the artwork folder, and then we are going to be double clicking into this smart object. We've been using smart objects, I think, every day, which is very cool. It's kind of an advanced technique, but it makes life so much easier. So I'm proud of you all for getting the hang of it so quickly. Valentine says, I'm a cayenne coffee drinker too. What? Tell me about that. Do you just sprinkle some pepper into your coffee? That sounds amazing. Like spicy hot chocolate. All right, let's double click on our thumbnail to enter our smart object. I've actually already done that here. And now we can design our poster. So you'll notice that there's already a big graphic element in this template. This is part of the template. I didn't make this. And we're gonna replace this with something that we make. So if we open up our graphic elements, we can just, turn off that folder or just turn off the cat face. Cat face, ooh ha ha. So it says replace this, cool, we'll do that. I'm just gonna turn it off so it doesn't distract us. And then I want to make a poster for like a vinyl record swap meet. So you bring your old vinyl, maybe some that you got from a vintage store, you bring it and you can trade it with other people. We just got a record player for Christmas, so this is top of mind for me. All right, so this is where we are going to land. And as you can see, we have this kind of cool gramophone or record player. And it has this awesome brushy texture, and this almost looks like it's an illustration that yours truly made, but it's not. I just used textured brushes on top of a photograph to come up with this cool shape, and then we used the silhouette of a photograph to make it recognizable. So we can tell this is a record player. D says spicy hot chocolate, very adventurous. It's delicious. Dip a churro in there, very good. Alrighty. So this is where we're gonna start. I've already edited some of the type. So we've got our vinyl swap meet. We could even change our street name to something that's in our town. And then I've changed things like the date is today's date. I don't think there's gonna be any tickets, so I can change that later. But first, let's get our image of our record player in here. A gramophone, whatever you'd like to call it. D says record player vinyl life. D, do you have one? What do you like to listen to? Oh, what record player did you get? We got an Audio Technica and then some Edison speakers. Chat, let me know. Do you have a record player? Are you in the vinyl life? I'm a thrift store connoisseur, so I'm at the thrift store like multiple times a week, and I love getting records, and I've always gotten them, but I've never had something to play them on, so now we do. It's very good. Okay, enough about that. Enough about the behind the scenes. Let's get the background removed from this record player. So I'm going to use our trusty select and mask workflow that we've used a couple times. Alberto doesn't have a record player. Oh no, Alberto, do you want one? Are you not interested? I'm gonna do select subject here at the top, and it's gonna do a pretty good job of selecting the subject. Luckily, there's a light background against a highly saturated subject. So it does a good job, but there's still some missing pieces down here, so let's clean it up with select and mask. And since we're gonna be using the outline of this image to make our illustration, we need to make sure that the outline's pretty crisp. Alberto says, I'm not sure how I feel about it. That's okay, you don't have to feel any kind of way about it. It is nice though to come home from work and just put on a record. Instead of putting on the TV, you just put on some music. Alrighty, so to get those sharp outlines, one thing that we haven't done yet is we haven't used the lasso tools in Select and Mask. So over here in the left toolbar, there's a bunch of different tools for different kind of selections. I'm gonna focus on this polygonal lasso tool. It's different from the freeform lasso tool, so here's freeform where you can just literally draw, but I don't want that. I want to use the polygonal lasso tool so I can drop points and make a very geometric selection. So I'm gonna drop one here and select the bottom of this. I don't know if you can hear everyone chatting in the green room. There's a lot of excitement going on. I think everyone's excited that Andre's here. Very cool dude. Okay, so now we have a really sharp edge, but we need to get rid of this at the bottom. So instead of just selecting, you see there's a little plus sign, so that's adding to a selection. I want to take away from the selection. So if I hold Option or Alt when I'm using the tool, you'll notice that this little minus sign appears on my cursor. So Option or Alt, Option or Alt. Let's hold down Option or Alt and select the spaces that we don't want to be selected. There we go, looks good. You can also manually change those tools to be a deselect by clicking this option in the middle up here at the top. Gina says, I love the control I can get with the polygonal lasso tool. Me too, Gina. I love to use it in illustrations to make some really sharp shadows. Mubashir says, hi, Kathleen. Hello. Cheryl, hello. Good to see you. Yeah, Colleen, totally there's a hotkey. Thanks for asking. Alrighty, so the last thing that we're going to do to make sure that this selection is really crisp is we're going to come over here to Global Refinements and just increase the contrast a little bit. Because sometimes with Select and Mask, it'll have kind of a feathery effect, and it does that for you so that the selection looks natural. But when it's an inorganic object like this, we don't need any kind of feathering. All right. Colleen says, would Option or Alt work on any of the selection tools here? Pretty much. Like if there is an alternate, so look at this. I'm doing just normal hovering, and then I hold Option or Alt, and it's the minus. It kind of works universally across a bunch of Adobe products. Option or Alt will usually just be the opposite. Hassan says, beginner tutorial. This should be beginner friendly, hopefully, but it does build upon previous days' challenges. So if you don't know Select and Mask, you can always look back at previous days. Okay, we've increased our contrast, our edges are crisp. You already know how to do all of this, so let's just get this output to new layer with layer mask. Okay, now we have an isolated gramophone on a black background. You can always come here, change the background as you see fit, but let's do black. I like it. Okay, so now let's add some cool textured brushes on top of this. I've shown this in a couple previous days, but there are very, very nice textural brushes involved with Photoshop, especially when you use Kyle Webster's Mega Pack. Kyle's brushes are integrated with Creative Cloud, so if you have a subscription, you have access to thousands of his awesome brushes. So if we come over here to the brush tool in the toolbar, we come up here to the drop-down Brush Manager. Then we're going to go to this cog and click Get More Brushes. If you're logged in on adobe.com with your CC Adobe ID, the ones that are linked together, you will see all of these awesome brushes that you can download for free. I mean, they come with your subscription, but this is wild. I'm so thankful that Kyle has integrated these brushes with CC because, man, I used these in college. I still have my original Mega Pack. They are amazing. So the Mega Pack has over 300 tools that really has like drawing tools, painting tools, some compositing brushes, like special effect brushes. Kathleen Black, because I have my cool black jacket. Actually, Andre has a cool black jacket as well. So we're gonna be rocking the black denim all day. These watercolor brushes are beautiful. I really love the dry and textury brushes he has, like dry media and gouache. The runny inkers are great. The rake brushes are very nice for making hair. Yeah, so look at all these. The Keys Design is also very excited about this. Check them out. But really all you need, if you want to get started, is this Mega Pack. You just click download and then it will download and you can drag your brush set into Photoshop. So that is what I have already done. As you can see, I have hundreds of brushes in here. And the brush I'm going to be playing with is within the paint box. So when you open the Mega Pack, you go down to paint box, and then I'm going to be using the Big Bad Wolf Tilt brush. It has some great texture right up there. And it's also going to react to tilt. So if I use a Wacom or a tablet, then it will react to my pressure sensitivity. So let's actually do that. I'm going to make a new layer for our painting, put it on top of our gramophone, and let's bring in the big guns. Literally. Well, not literally, but it is big. We've got this really nice tablet. You don't need to use a tablet. I rarely do when I'm doing these DCCs, but just for the fun of it, let's use it. So let's choose a cool color. I'm gonna zoom in a bit. And I like to choose a similar color, so I use the eye to activate the eyedropper. A similar color to the actual image, but increase my saturation a little bit by coming over to the top right of the color picker. So that's going to increase saturation and the brightness, the value of it. And then I might even drag my color to be even more yellow. So over here in the color picker. And then from here, I can kind of paint some texture in here. So look at that nice brush. It's amazing. It's reacting to the pressure that I'm using on this tablet. So I'm gonna hit this really bright yellow on the very lighter parts of the metal. Metal is really reflective, although this metal is a little bit burnished, so it's not too reflective, but there's gonna be a lot of shadows and lights going on in here. Now maybe I'll add a little bit of an orange tone on top of where it's a little bit darker. Cool. And then maybe I'll even use kind of like a bluish tone. That's a similar value for the neck or the tube. I'm not sure about the anatomy of one of these horns. And get that going on top of there. All right, so you'll notice that there are lines going over the edge of the gramophone, and we've spent so much time using select and mask to make such a specific selection. Let's get something bright and blue going on here. So let's just do a quick clipping mask to clip our colors to our mask. So we have our painting layer right here. We'll even rename it painting so we don't get confused. And we're gonna do a quick clipping mask by right-clicking on it. Create clipping mask, and it's gonna clip it to our mask below. Cool. Now we can continue to do this, and if you keep painting over it, you'll be able to see a little bit of the actual texture of the image below it. But say you want to do something that's totally just illustrated. We want to get rid of the photograph, but use the outline of the photograph. Very easy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually unclip my layer. I'm going to hover over this clipping mask, so our outline of the gramophone. Hover over here. Hold Option or Alt and click on it, and we're going to be able to see it. And then hold Command, click it, and that's going to select our mask for us. Super cool. So if I were to make a new layer, use my Fill Bucket tool, maybe grab kind of like a dark blue, and fill it, then we now have just the outline of a gramophone that we can paint on top of. And if we clip it to it, there we go. We have our own homemade illustration that was heavily influenced by a photograph, but this is a great way to kind of dabble into illustration, add some cool texture, some cool color to your designs without maybe being the most skilled illustrator. Chad says you can also alt drag the mask from one layer above or below it. Perfect, yes. So let's try that. Option drag to make a duplicate. There we go. Thank you, Chad. All right, so let's continue to do some painting and see how this goes. Maybe we can choose like a really dark or purpley blue for this. And I know this workflow isn't really like a how to draw workflow. That takes a little bit more time and is a little more complicated. But this is really a good example or a good opportunity for you guys to just get creative and play around a little bit. Play with color, play with value. So when things are darker, you can make them darker, but maybe they're purple instead of blue. Just playing around a little bit. Maybe I'll grab this blue again, paint in here, get it going. Nice. So I've already spent some time doing this, and I don't think I could totally finish this to my liking in the next 5 minutes. So let's just go to my finished version. There we go. You'll see I went a little more wild with the colors. I even duplicated the background outline shape and turned it into this lighter blue and kind of scooched it over to the right, so it almost looks like a shadow or a highlight. Awesome, and then we can just change this text as we want to. I'm gonna get this behemoth of a tablet out of here. The chat's pretty quiet right now, so I think you're all playing with the Kyle T. Webster brushes. I don't blame you, to be honest. So let's open this up, get to our text. Let's see, what should the street name be? We definitely want to get rid of our tickets, because there are no tickets for the swap meet. Maybe this could say Minimum of 5 records required. You need to bring at least 5 if you want to come in. Mubashir said this brush is the same as your thumbnails. Which thumbnails? The photo of me that has the textured background? Leah says, I could brush all day. Pff, me too. I've gotten in trouble before. We're doodling all day. Alrighty. Let's see, what else should we change? Maybe the website? It could be vinyltrade.com. Sounds good. And then I just made this little record illustration. It's not even an illustration, by using our live shapes. So I just made some rounded ellipses, layered them on top of each other, changed the stroke, and this is literally just circles on top of each other. Alberto says, I'm digging this. I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm really excited to see what you all do because it's a little more open-ended. It could go any direction. What's the name of the vinyl swap font, Kathleen? Steve, this is, I believe, Monster Mash CC. Let me make sure I'm right on that. Go to the properties. Yes, CC Monster Mash, and I believe it's a Adobe Fonts font. So you can get it if you click on this icon. It'll take you to Adobe Fonts, and you can sync it from there if you have a CC subscription. Sam says, I have so many brushes, easy to get lost playing with new ones. Totally, Sam. Although, Sam, I feel like you rock just the round, normal Photoshop brush because you're a genius and can do that. I cannot. All right, let's get this saved and then put it into our actual template. Boom. There it is. I love it. Very cool. Let's get it exported. I'm gonna crop it down a little bit just so when we upload it onto Behance, it is not so large. Hit return, export, export as. And I just want to give a quick shout out to Chad for being here in the chat. I know it's a big ask for you to be here every 9 a.m., but you always have really great input. And I always go to you with Photoshop questions, so I'm really glad to have you here that I can call out and be like, Chad, help. All right, let's give an export here once it thinks about it for a bit. Sarah says 911 White Russian Lane. Sounds delicious. Just drop this on my desktop. Day 7 poster. Any guesses for what we're gonna do tomorrow? We have 2 more days left. And our projects are just gonna keep getting bigger. What could it be? All right, first thing I'm gonna do is get this uploaded onto Discord. So if you come over to current challenge, press the plus button, upload it, and I'm gonna ask for some specific feedback. You think the black background works, or is it too dark compared to the bright illustration? It's always great to ask for specific feedback, get that uploaded, and then super quickly I'm gonna get those put up on Behance as well. So best case scenario, you would upload your work in progress on Discord, which I believe they're gonna be giving you feedback during the next stream as well. So make sure you get those uploaded soon. Get the feedback here and then finish your work and then upload it to Behance. But I wanna show you how to do it. So let's get over there. I actually need to log into another account. So thank you, Jim. Quick on the draw. All right, let's get this signed in. That's the trouble working at Adobe. Sometimes you're using your personal account, sometimes you're using your not personal account. Ooh, Jeffrey says maybe a bus? Like a wrap, a car wrap? That'd be very cool. All right, we're good, Jim. Crisis averted. Let's go to our profiles, get our projects updated by hovering over the cog and clicking edit. Mubashir says, I'm exporting too. Yes. Can't wait to see it on Discord. Look at all of our beautiful work, our very cool t-shirts from yesterday. And upload. All right, so I'm gonna be back tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. with more challenges for you. Who knows what it's gonna be? And then make sure you stick around because Andre is gonna be up next doing some very cool mobile photography. And he's just a cool dude, so stick around for more denim jacket action. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.